Hey everyone, Richard Metalfan here, and today we talk Thelema Point 6 by Behemoth, released in the year 2000, the new millennium. Now, what to say about this album is holy shit. And honestly, in my opinion, I think this is a very underrated album in Behemoth's discography. I really honestly don't think that anybody talks about this album, and I just don't understand why. Why? I mean, it still continues the themes of like pandemonic incantations and Satanica, with also having sort of like the black and death metal feel, but also have sort of like incorporate like Middle Eastern type of themes to it. And that's just the one thing I really liked about this. And it still continues with that. Production wise, I mean, for the guitars, I feel like are kind of a little bit different from a guitar standpoint. Like it's not like more of a calmer feel compared to like the previous releases. Um, the drumming is from Inferno is great. Like guitar wise, Nurgle and they have another guitarist on here named Havoc. His like they're both their guitar playing is really good, and I think Nurgle played bass on this album as well. Yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, this is sort of a different, I know it's like different versions, but I want to do the version I have, which is a digipack version, which has some different tracks. I know like a jewel case has it, but I'll just talk about the digipack version, of course. We're starting, I mean, there's not really like much differences compared to like it has like one track, but one track's omitted, and then they have like three other bonus tracks as well. Well, but yeah, let's just dive into this track by track. Now, the album opens up with Anti-Christian Phenomenon, which is a great opener. They're teasing with its mid-paced opening before it reps into like a tremolo riff, madness, and Inferno sort of pounding away on the drums. And this is the longest song on the album, and it's still under 5 minutes. And these early songs contain lots of like unique riffing, but nothing too unorthodox yet, especially here. But over the course of the entire album, Behemoth knows how to put together great riffs with powerful blasting to run you over. All right. Then we go into the Act of Rebellion. Yes, this song is even faster than Anti-Christian Phenomenon, but without turning into a mindless blast fest. The guitar melodies in this song are very strange, but are still very catchy as fuck. I don't know how they do it, like, really. I mean, there's a few second short orchestral parts near at the end of every riff, which gives it a great feeling to the music. And the vocal parts around like 2 minutes 35 seconds is one of the moments on the album. It's like Nurgle is like casting a deadly spell upon you as soon as he just stops, and then a beautiful solo comes in and just rips your head off. And that's not enough. Another similar vocal comes in, and it doesn't get much better than that. Another great solo start says like the song slowly fades out, and then we go into Inflamed with Rage. It has one of the greatest opening riffs I've ever heard. Nurgle's screams want you to jump in and scream along with him. One of the most interesting parts in his voice, he says, is that he doesn't even like growl. It's like he has screaming his like lungs out, but without sounding like a black metal singer, like compared to like their older stuff. And I've never heard any vocalist that sounds remotely similar to Nurgle. And the song has like a pretty wicked chord progressions like before, and yet they managed to make it sound totally unique. And then we go into then tap. I forget how you pronounce it. I mean, it's like in Greek, so I'm not even gonna butcher it. I mean, it's totally insane. Like, just listen to like the first 30 seconds. I won't say any more about this part, where you just have to hear it for yourself. I'm sure you haven't heard anything like that before. Some of these strange riffs also appear later throughout the song, and this song is less vocal driven, like compared to like the previous songs on here, but it's a total headbanger. The solo is haunting too. In some parts, it reminds me a little bit of Ceremony of Shiva from the previous album we talked about in the discography, Satanica. And this is mainly because of sort of like the clean vocals in the background of a verse. And Inferno, takes my breath away with his amazing skills once again. There's a lot of blast beats to be found on here, but he often fills it up with the gaps with hyper fast and great sounding drum fills. All right, then we go into Natural Born Philosopher. Slowly fades in, then takes takes up to the last track even further. Some more rather silent, clean vocals fade in with the riffs and appear often throughout the song. You can definitely hear Novi slapping very well in here. This song shows how unpredictable this album is. At around 2 minutes and 14 seconds, and sort of like 2 seconds later, it starts again and turns into like a total head-banging monster, accompanied by great solos and sort of like wicked clean shouts again. And this is maybe one of the strangest songs on here. Hell, it even fades out with an acoustic guitar and suddenly it turns into full first in the last 15 seconds. Unbelievable. And this song ends with Nurgle saying, "Your god is dead now," and holy fuck, he really must be dead now. And then we go into Christians to the Lions. I won't have to explain what the song is about, but I've never had a problem with sort of anti-Christian lyrics. The song's ultra fast and total devastation, and the short solo around 26 seconds in together with Nurgle's screams is totally vicious. And Nurgle's hatred almost comes throughout my speakers, and his vocals sound great. Then we go into Inauguration of Scorpio Dome. It starts off like a soundtrack to a scary video game until it starts out with great riffs and extremely difficult drum patterns that Inferno does easily. I just like how Nurgle screams Inauguration of Scorpio Dome. It just sounds so great here. And after he screams it 2 more times, there's another one of those strange sort of like sound passages in the breathtaking but sadly rather short song. In the Garden of Dispersion, it's sort of like less experimental than sort of like the previous tracks on here, and it has some decade of theory on from the previous album, Satan, like a moment before it turns into like a great headbanging riff at around minute 35 seconds. If your neck isn't already crushed by then it'll be break here because it gets crushed at the same speed for almost like a whole minute. And the song ends in hyper speed fashion, and you can't help but thrashing around like a maniac. And then we go into the Universe Illumination, Say Hello to My Demons, which, after opening up, sports a very good chugging riff and keys in the background. Very bombastic and epic while still being strange before moving into a tremolo, low riff, and godness and high passionate vocals from Nurgle. And then we go into Vinvum Sabati with its strange melodic opening riffs before the strange verses on this whole album sort of like commence on this track. And then we go into 23, the Youth Manifesto, which features sort of like a very tapping riff and Nurgle growling about his life journey so far before transitioning into a slow chugging riff with double bass and industrial effects to finally sort of fade out this album. Now, of course, my version, well, depending on what version you have, if you have like the jewel case version, it has a song called "The End," which which is sadly isn't on my digipack right here. But I have checked out "The End." It's just a static effect for 20 seconds until Nurgle screams one word light into your ear, sort of like ending the album. But we'll talk about some of the bonus tracks on here. We'll talk about Malice, which I think is a pretty good song. I kind of dig that a lot. And this actually has 2 cover songs, which is kind of weird. First one being Satanus by an artist called Sarcophago, which I've never even heard of, but I think it's a pretty good song. And the weirdest cover of all is them covering Hello Space Boy, originally done by the late great David Bowie, which is so weird for a black and death metal band to cover David Bowie, but they pull it off really good. And it also has a re-recording of from the Pagan Vastlands from their first demo, which, I kind of dig that version a lot more than the demo version. That's just me. But overall, Thelema .6 is a really good album. In my opinion, one of Behemoth's most underrated albums. If I were to give this album a score, I'd probably give this a 9.5 out of 10. So that's my review of Thelema .6, guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you all in the next video, and keep it metal.